Hi. So you know how podcasts, like real ones, will record the podcast and then afterward the host will record an intro to it to kind of set up context. That's what this is without, however, me having written anything or pre-planned this because this is for the 30-year anniversary of 30 Minutes of Madness, a show with absolutely no plot and no meaning whatsoever.
Hi, welcome to 30 Minutes of Madness, the show with absolutely no plot and no meaning whatsoever.
So why overthink it? That said, we definitely overtalked it. I got Joe Hornacek, my partner in this public access TV show from our childhood, on a Zoom call today. We talked for hours. We even have some special guests, and I'm going to release all of that footage for, the fans. I don't even know if I'm looking in the right spot. Maybe it's there. But anyway, I'm going to release all of that. But this little intro is going to be attached to something that I'm going to put on YouTube and elsewhere, which is where Joe and I do essentially a commentary track for the first episode of 30 Minutes Madness, which aired March 5th, 1992. And today is March 5th, 2022, 30 years later. So you can see why we might do something like this.
Jerry cares so much about this show is because he cares about his friends. He wants an excuse. He wants an excuse to come and hang out and do the shit that we did. It's almost like a rejuvenating thing for him too, I'm sure.
No pro audio equipment for this, just through our laptops. And again, no real pre-planning, no editing even. I'm just going to leave that in. No pre-planning. We just went in and recorded our thoughts while watching this 30 plus year old video from our teen years. So here I'm going to include the actual video of the show, but it's going to be muted. So you'll hear us talking over the show. But if you actually want to, who is ever going to do this? No one. But in case someone ever does this, you can just have this running and then watch the actual show with the audio turned up if you want. So anyway, without further ado, here is Joe Hornacek and I talking about and over and through episode 1 of 30 Minutes Madness. Look at us, Joe. We're young now. Now we're old. So we're going to do this as an audio only track, I think, too, where people can watch episode 1 and listen to our commentary. So if you want to watch episode 1 of 30 Minutes Madness, you can go to 30mom.com/episodes/1. And the show is actually 27 minutes and 43 seconds. So technically it's not a full 30 minutes of madness. It's 27 minutes and 43 seconds of madness. But we'll round up. So if you are about to watch it, I'm going to give you a countdown so we can be synced up. So I'm going to press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And there you go.
So Melissa Moorfield she's the star. Oh, there's Mari too.
Alyssa Moorfield and Mari. Hey, there's me. Yeah, we just cut to a random video to a Mr. Bungle song of one day we were hanging out in Samantha Teasel's basement.
I used to get these shirts from TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get the Mac for the minimum there.
Oh yeah. Well, these were the hairstyles. Remember the hairstyles? See, that's what I'm saying. Those were from years before. People.
Right. That was shot in 1990, some of that, or 89. And then this is footage of you shooting with Wade, which to me, this footage that day you shot with Wade was kind of iconic.
Remember, I taped over some of that footage with Brad Erlinson and Devlin Wesley, and what it made the show.
Yeah, the Mafia skit.
Yeah, the Mafia skit. It had some other stuff with that guy Jason, with the redhead kid who played drums.
Oh yeah. Right,
But
right,
yeah,
right.
my dad saw this. He thought it was cool.
Your dad saw you wearing your
This
family wreath around your neck.
he thought this was the show. Like he thought like this is gonna be it. Like he
Like
wanted me to like do more just with this character
studio.
and this like with this show.
Yeah, like the guy with the big hat and sunglasses interviewing random people. This is Matt Zaleski. Again, we were like 15 in some of that, 15 or 16 there.
Yeah.
I will say this, that the show, it like already is like a bunch of different things really fast. Like we haven't launched into a long skit yet. Although I think
Yeah.
now it's going to be, is this the mock rock super long?
I don't know, but you know, the stuff that we had to do, we had to transfer to
Yeah.
Umatic.
Right. We would shoot on VHS, copy it to 3/4 inch Umatic, and then edit at the studio edit suite.
Yeah.
So this is like a really long, just kind of music video to the entire Led Zeppelin song Black Dog.
Yeah, this just reminds me of his like the whole Led Zeppelin thing was really, really popular in the 70s. Like it had its own thing. And then like here we are doing it like in the 90s. And I kind of feel like it kind of died out in the 80s a little bit. And it like even had to like say, yeah, we want to hear more Zeppelin on the radio because the radio wasn't even playing it that much. And I kind of think like this is like the only like life during its time or something for Led Zeppelin.
Well,
Was this big here?
I do think that like, you know, whenever movies show, like if you make a movie set in 1980, it'll usually like everyone's listening to music from that year. And the reality is like you listen to modern music, but you're always listening to older stuff too. So we were listening to like 90s music, but we were still into like Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath,
Yeah, like
David
rap,
Bowie.
like rap was really making a big hit. Like when we were doing this, like rap was like taking off.
And grunge was taking off.
But yeah, more so rap kind of took over because grunge like stopped after a while.
Right. But yeah, I mean, Led Zeppelin to me, I listened to that as a little kid, so it never died.
Yeah,
My regret for this show is that, I mean, for one, most of our old 30 Minutes Madnesses can't be on YouTube because of all the copyrighted music. So like this is just an entire long song. It's super boring. Like even back
yeah.
then, I'm like, oh, this is like 5 minutes and it's boring.
But do you think that 3 Minutes Madness would have taken off as fast if we didn't have a video class in high school? Because this was your high school project, right?
That's right. Well, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff on episode 1 that got edited because it was like an assignment.
Yeah,
No, I think having video production definitely helped because we would shoot stuff in school. Obviously, once we got out of school, we still did stuff. But like
right.
we were doing 30 Minutes Madness. We were also doing Bizarre Brick Walls from Outer Space in high school. And we did Underground. So like we were pretty video active.
Yeah, you were saying that like excuse me,
Like
Bizarre Brick Walls from Outer Space was getting too much attention, like over 3 minutes a minute, so we had to stop doing it.
Well, so okay, this is how I remember it. Episode 1 came out, and then episode 2 comes out really soon after, but it to me it was kind of like a filler episode. There wasn't as much good stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I don't want to have filler 30 Minutes Madness episodes. I want all the episodes to be really good, but we should have another show that we can do easily, more quickly. And that was Bizarre Brick Walls from Outer Space, which had a lot more studio footage, or it had skits that maybe we felt like were too long for 30 mom. But then Bizarre Brick Walls was easier to make, so we made more of them for a while. And I was doing morning announcements and like telling people to watch the show. And then people like Jesse and Andy, they would like tune into like Bizarre Brick Walls at first. I'm like, no, you're missing our like good show.
Right.
So we did 8 episodes of Bizarre Brick Walls from Outer Space, which was your title. Came from a skit you did, like some random thing.
Right. Yeah, that was when we were taking the class.
Yeah, in the summer of 1991,
Wow.
or sometime in 1991, we were taking the class.
Yeah.
And while we're talking, this Led Zeppelin video is still going on. It's just
Yeah.
nonstop.
Yeah. Brings back. So you guys actually went underneath that stage from the sewer system on a Saturday?
No, I never.
Yeah, you and Mike.
Oh, but not that. No, we went through the median, but it wasn't by. It was like downtown Rochester. I went with Dennis and Jesus and Pipper, and that was like in '94. Like, and it's like the underground, like water overflow or some shit.
How big was the tunnel?
I mean, you can't stand up in it. And I remember I was having a hard time. My back was hurting because I had to like bend the whole time. Wait, this is about to end and it's going to go into the first Crazy Larry skit before the character was even called that.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Hello, people in TV land. How y'all doing today?
Yeah, this is so Andy Kaufman. Like, I didn't even know. Well, I used to do this thing where I used to go by that door right there. And I used
The
to
door
like just
behind you
sit
right
there.
now.
Yeah, it was like kind of like a meditation place for me when I was a kid. Like I would go there and just sit next to the door. I would sleep next to it, and like I would just look at the door because of the wood grain and stuff like that. So I kind of like when I did this, I already had like a sense of like my space and like like it was a place where I've already like meditated like as a kid when I was young.
And here's the first Lethal Finger skit, which I feel like we've said.
So I kind of like the idea of this. I also had some ideas, like, you know how I said I got to write down, like I'm trying to bring it back. Like it obviously has something to do with like going around lighting a firecracker and just, whatever happens at the firecracker is what happens when you do the video. Like that's pretty spontaneous,
Yeah, we weren't dubbing the shots in later. It was just someone had to light it. This was all.
Right.
This was the first time you guys had already been filming. This was in October of 1990. And this was the first day that I ever filmed with you guys. And you had filmed some skits that summer. You had a character already created called the Homeless Skateboarder. And then we created these characters just this day randomly.
Yeah. Oh, that was before my dad built that garage, because you could see a blue house with a yellow garage.
Also,
We used
you
to
were
have a
called
whole-
Hat Man at that point, but we later called you the guy with the big hat and sunglasses, which is a cooler name.
Okay. I remember it was always a tongue twister because I wanted to be called the guy with the sunglasses, the big head. I'm starting to catch a cold.
Oh, that's not good. Also, you were never wearing sunglasses. It was safety glasses, but we just kept the character name.
Yeah.
So this was a skit with Sid that you shot the summer of 1990 before I was hanging out with you guys. And that's kind of like stunt stuff, like proto Jackass type shit. There's
Yeah.
Homeless skateboarder outfit.
Okay, so this was done like maybe a couple of years before.
No, it was the summer of 1990. I remember because I had all the footage and shot on video 8, not high 8, video 8. Yeah, this is just like kids being kids, right?
Yep.
And we're all just kind of learning how to do shots, not shots, but video.
This is like such like how we used to play when we were kids.
Right.
Like we do stuff like this.
Well,
like
I think
we're still kids. Like
we were still kids. Lucian had said there's that line at the end of the documentary where he's like, 30 Minutes of Madness, a children's story for adults.
Yeah.
And I think that there is something similar. It's like, it's us playing. And like, this is just like kids playing with a video camera. And obviously nowadays that's really common because everyone has YouTube or TikTok, but this was like rare still.
Yeah.
This was an assignment for school.
Oh yeah.
One of my PSAs. Are you editing more alphabet videos?
Oh, I can't see myself in the video, so I wasn't sure if I was tuned in or not. But yeah, no, I won't. I was just like looking at something. But this, I can't remember this. Oh yeah, this was funny. This is
This was like an anti-drug PSA for, but I'm also I'm doing like an Ice-T voice, which is not great.
Yeah. Yeah, this is kind of like a mix-up of like what, and like this big tall guy rolling down the hill, and then like left goes down the hill.
Never to get up again. Drugs, it's a dead end. But I had black hair.
Yeah,
My hair looks really healthy. Drugs, it's a dead end.
yep.
You don't think I'm where? You don't think there's like random footage, and that was like an in-betweener. And then this is the skit that the guy who cries, Hoy.
Yeah, you wanted to do it, and you wanted me to write an article about this these days when I was in LA, and I came up with some good stuff, but then like you like just didn't want to, you didn't want to do it anymore after I did it or something. It was like
I don't remember the article.
You're like, Joe, make up an article, and I was like,
did you write it?
Yeah, I wrote it. Like we recorded it, I wrote it. It was like I just said a few paragraphs, and then you're like, okay, and then you like changed your mind, and like didn't worry about it anymore. We had that booth that we were sitting at. But anyways, that skit that day was like really
powerful day. Right, because we did the green pants that day. We did
excuse me.
We did another Lethal Finger skit that day. This was me figuring out the idea of in-betweeners, like using these random little bits between stuff. This Lethal Finger skit was part of this ambitious project I tried to do called Lethal Finger the movie. And I like tried writing a script. And remember, we shot all of these things, but like the movie actually.
Oh yeah, remember the idea that you came up with? All we are saying is give Lethal a chance.
Yeah.
Lethal a chance.
These are
the cool thing is you got these girls to do stuff. Yeah.
We were shooting in a mall, and I remember they did their hair like this, and it was already retro. Like no one was dressing like that then because it wasn't cool anymore.
People were like years before were dressed up like that.
Right. So they were.
You could go to this mall, and that's how people used to hang out. Like This is like kind of like when the scene was dying out.
Right. Bit. This is only a few years after it, but we were like, like kind of 80s mall girls with hairspray.
And they totally remodeled it. They used to be a Big Boys right behind where you're standing. There used to be a Big Boy there.
I always thought that was a good shot of me getting kneed in the nuts. Like it looked real. And then you're there randomly. And then, remember I was obsessed with the Tim Burton Batman. So I have me saying, you ever dance with the devil in the moonlight? I just steal that.
And that was years before too, because you used to roam the halls going, I'm your DJ now, Princey.
In 8th grade, because I was obsessed with Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, this part was like everybody kind of like choreographed those two guys.
Oh, the running around stuff,
like an expo formation. Like that's like pretty cool. Like that was like right on time. Like that would have been a cool movie if we finished it.
Yeah, we didn't get all the pieces, and then it just didn't work out. I thought that these little in-betweener skits with you were fun. Like that to me was like the original vibe. Oh, and then Firecracker. Like, remember people like would watch it and kind of quote Firecracker for a while? That was another like catchphrase for a minute.
I can't believe he looks so young. Yeah, I went to Cub Scouts with this kid way back in like 2nd and 3rd grade.
Oh, that was also the same day as the Green Pants, Firecracker Day.
Oh, this part was funny.
And I love
you start running like
running out.
You take off like you're gonna mow the lawn in the nighttime.
And then Jason Donovan.
But see that vibe right there, like remember your neighbors as the basketball coach?
Yeah.
Remember we played basketball every day for a whole summer.
Oh my God, yeah. My dad would play with us too. That was because people still ask me to this day, like, do you like playing basketball? I'm like, I don't play basketball, but I didn't like basketball on the team, but I love playing at like the basketball court at my house with like friends.
Right.
Half court was always fun.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Jesus Warrior skit?
Yeah, it's just like Wade, he was demented, man. He come up with weird stuff sometimes. Like he was like really funny, but then like all of a sudden, like he would just like show you his like demented side.
So is this a demented version for you? Because I thought
Yeah,
he ends up battling the devil and then like kills the devil, which I thought was silly but fun.
yeah, but like it was just this weird, like people were like in the black hair and like Susan Peer would always like put white makeup on her face. Like I was like, I don't know why people do that, you know.
She was
like
wearing whiteface. She was wearing whiteface. She was a goth girl.
yeah, she's wearing black. Yeah, goth people. Like it's just like you kind of just like you go to your life and then you see these goth people in it and you just think to yourself like, what are these people doing?
See, now that's not what I thought of goth people. I always liked goth girls. I was never into Susan that way, but I always liked the look of like black fishnets, black t-shirt, or like black dress, and like I always liked that look when I was a kid. But you were always more into blonde girls with blue eyes. Like you liked really like sunshine type girls.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I just didn't like this kid. It's just like the way Wade looks like, I don't know, like he's kind of looks like my dad in a way, but like he's, I don't know, like he just wanted to stop doing movies with us, you know.
He did, you know, he runs that record store in Detroit. I don't know if he still runs it, Hello Records, but I don't know that he's ever seen the documentary. I remember him saying like he wasn't ready to watch it, like because it was going to be too emotional.
Yeah, she moved back to Ferndale, has like a couple kids.
Megan Hughes, yeah, no longer Hughes.
This guy was freaking funny. Yeah, he was really funny.
He became a pro skater. Oh, here's the green pants skit. Like it's not even much of a skit. Bill. So he pushes you down. What do you say? You say, "What'd you do that for? I thought you wanted me to." Bill, you shouldn't have done that. This canyon right here, this is the largest canyon in the world. I just wanted this whole place, and you're going down. Ah. And he says, "Green pants." And he's taking pants, and there's no reason for it.
Yeah.
This was, yeah. Well, we shot this like a week after or 2 weeks after we shot Lethal Finger. So now other characters were just randomly shooting things with their finger, like. And then Devlin.
Funny is, this is like a lot of Rochester used to look like this before it got developed.
Oh yeah, that doesn't look like that anymore, does it?
But it looks like really pretty back there. Like I didn't really pay attention to like the colors of the trees and the leaves and stuff like that, but that's actually really pretty.
That was a cool shot you got. You had to climb into a tree for that shot.
Yeah.
I remember thinking we were like a big deal because we like shot at a Taco Bell. It like had a
we did.
Punchline. It was like
they totally remodeled that Taco Bell, but that Taco Bell used to be at one point one of the busiest Taco Bells in the States, I think.
Holy crap. Random.
So what is this from?
That was from Mr. Wheeler show in Flint.
Okay.
And then this was like one of the first skits you ever did. Again, you shot this summer of 1990 before I was making skits with you guys, and it's your homeless skateboarder character. And this is very like early YouTube. Like there's so many YouTube characters where it's like one person talking to themselves, and you were like ahead of that. It's like, and it's like you're playing all the parts.
Yeah.
I thought you were dead. And you modeled this character after Splinter.
Yeah.
From
Teenage Mutant Ninja
Turtles.
But that's cool that it shows like a half pipe. Like when people watch the show, they're like, holy crap, a half pipe. Like, wow, like these people like really into the times or something, you know?
You and your dad built 2 half pipes in the backyard, right?
No, we built one and I cut it down, and me and Sid Clark bought this other guy's half pipe and we assembled it into the other one. So it turned into like what's called a hip. A hip is like something on a 90-degree angle. So like you could jump off one half pipe and jump onto the other at a 90-degree angle.
Do you ever wish that you still stayed skating? Because you were like super into it.
I still do, man. But you know, it's like, you know, to skate professionally is like a real big commitment. You know, it's hard to make that commitment when it snows for half a year in Michigan.
Right. So when we were hanging out in 9th grade, before we were making videos, we would hang out because we were super into Batman comics. And I would go over to like hang out with you and talk comics, but you would be skating with all these skaters. And I would be so fucking bored because I hated skateboarding. I didn't know how to skateboard. I didn't want to skateboard. And I would just be like waiting, and like until Joe was ready to be done with skating. So that's probably why I know that's why Lethal Finger is always shooting skateboarders. Because it was my
that's freaking Maya. That's
oh yeah, Maya Marquis.
Yeah, Noah's sister. That's funny. How did we get that? What was that?
That was her senior picture, and Jason Donovan, I just think, had it.
That's so funny.
This random.
They got their shirts. That's two guys with their shirts off. Oh
Here's Rachel Angelini and John Signorino. Like a random Troy Studio in between her.
Oh, you and Matt are boxing. That's funny.
Yeah, it's just
nice,
like
nice
so much random shit.
Yeah.
And then this is shot on Christmas Day, 1991.
Do you know what? I watched a lot of, for some reason, I watched that footage when me and Matt were wrestling, and then Daryl and Eric started wrestling.
And they cried.
Yeah, it made Eric cry. We used to play like really hard when we were kids. We played so hard like Eric broke his arm one time.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, this is another. That was like a high school. This is shot in high school. This was like another like assignment that I edited in high school.
Oh no.
I think so. Just like
Mark
a.
Christianitis.
Oh yeah, Mark Christianitis. That was his name. I don't know if it was really pronounced Christianitis, but that's what we would say. We would.
No, that's what
it was not cool. We weren't.
I asked him. He said his name is Mark Christianitis.
Oh, I thought we were saying it like it was a disease. Like you've got Christianitis.
Yeah, but like that's actually his.
It was
like itis. You know, like that's like a. You know,
like my family.
Like a titus, like a intinitis or something. You know, it's like a belly air name, like March Christianitis. Kind of, you know, but in a spiritual way. Oh, this is a stick. We put the stick on the first episode.
It's weird. There's like a random clip from the stick, which would appear on episode 5, which episode 5 is, in my opinion, the worst episode. It's just got the most dragging stuff.
What did that say? The Bunny Aristotle's line, or
what was it? The final era of the bunny era. No, the final something of the bunny era will begin.
That's what was in this episode?
Just that line, yeah.
I stood embark in the Bunny Aristotle, the final quest for the stick.
I'm wearing a Raiders hat. You know, every time I like, this is just randomness. It's just all these in between.
Yeah.
And that haircut. Again, more Christmas Day footage.
Oh yeah, that Christmas Day.
It was Christmas Day in 1991. And this is you. Oh, this is the Jivin' Jack character. That was his name, Jivin' Jack.
There's the Christmobile.
And that's right. Tim Atwood's van, we named the Christmobile. Because, why? Because his mom was Catholic and always trying to preach.
No, it had a license plate on the front. I think it said Christ or something.
Oh, I think you're right. You ain't going nowhere, Jivin' Jack. Oh, this is the end of the show already. This is how this went randomly. And now it goes into like just weird footage of Jason Donovan in your living room with your, is that your sister?
If you could actually find the raw footage of this tape, because this is the tape we were messing around and we kept laughing because we were playing at the streak. He's gonna streak the mock rock.
Oh.
But Jason was this weird thing. He was like this weird guy. He would like streak because like he was depressed and like suicidal. So
you ended up living with him for years as an adult, like 10 years ago. You guys lived together.
If you talk to him, like if you sat down and seriously talked to him and tell him you wanted him to streak somewhere, like he would do it.
You mean now?
he hasn't changed. Like I wanted him to go streak on these people that I used to live across the street from because they were always nagging at me and stuff like that. I wanted him to go streak over there, but
oh gosh,
I don't know. He did it at the mock rock.
He did streak the mock rock. I like how I wrote
the day we planned it.
Registered trademarks.
I stayed home from school one day. I think he was out of high school already. So he could take the day off already. I took the day off and we just were messing around that day. We had a lot of fun though.
Budget is like, you want more Pony Boy or something? Oh, do you have enough Pony Boy? That's kind of like a pre see you around man type character because you're like hitting people. Oh, and then it's the end scroll. And I remember you like slipped in the word Katie Mueller at the end, and because I had a crush on a girl named Katie Mueller, and you're like Katie Mueller, and I was like Joe. But actually, you can even see her name in that scroll. I think it's written.
I wonder if can you buy a character generator on eBay now?
Dude, I've looked for those Quanta Corporation CG, and they're like, there's nothing. I've never like found any.
It's called Quanta Corporation CG.
That's who made it. Quanta Corporation. That's it. That's episode 1, everybody. What?
Yeah, happy birthday.
Wait, why is it still playing? It's still black. It's actually shorter than 27 minutes. I didn't realize there's all this black at the end. Is there like a secret? I'm scrolling ahead. No secret. Okay, so Joe.
So that's the mix that you made. And I remember the day after I came up, I shook your hand in the cafeteria. I was like, good job, Jerry. Because I was happy that like something was made. Because before that, like we were having trouble finishing stuff. Like it was hard to like get stuff done for some reason. We finally had like something to work off of.
Dude, I feel like 30 years later, that's still the story of my fucking life. Finishing shit hard. Finishing shit is hard. Yeah. So like there's so many projects, you and I both, and you know, I know John could say this and Jesse could say this, all of these cool ideas that you start that I just got a gift from Zoom that says we've removed the 40-minute time limit. Okay, thanks. Like Flying High Again, or like the Neimer movie, or Lethal Finger the movie, or The Search for Timbo, like all of these projects that got started, it's kind of a miracle when anything actually gets done.
I wonder if someone's watching from Zoom and they thought it was interesting. So we gotta keep these guys on.
I hope so. They're like, man, this needs to live. This needs to be made. Especially when we're talking about
here's some guys doing something out of the
things never
straight up out of left field.
So here's a question, Joe. Like, well, let's just really quick speak specifically about that first episode, and maybe this is the last time we will ever talk about episode 1 again.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think is cool about that show, if anything?
It was kind of cool, like the actual stuff that my dad did, like where I was the guy with the big hat and sunglasses in a studio setting, and like you know, I was like a cowboy or something, and they had that heavy metal music in the background. That was kind of cool. The other stuff, like the half pipe part was cool, I thought. Like maybe the Led Zeppelin video is a little underrated because that was actually done well. I remember like Miss Tyson, she's like, what kind of grade do you want? And you're like, I want an A. And she gave me an A for that. Because that did take some hard work. Like
it did. It's just, you know, it actually, it's taught me that, you know, music videos, you know, you can't just, I mean, you can just cut between 3 different locations, but it gets old quick.
What, you gonna pull me out like a dare? I read the sign, it says pass with care, so I care about you, bro. But why you taking my flow? Pass the mic to Jerry White, go.
I'm gonna take the mic, driving down the street. I need myself a really good beat. Come on, don't know why, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna sing this song, I'm gonna try to find. I'm gonna go real fast.
Slurpy, burpy, jerpy, whoopy.
That's a good note to end on.
Peace out, man.
all right, peace out.
All right.